Smoke from Canadian wildfires continue to shroud New York. A record-breaking smog also covered other cities along the U.S. East Coast. Air pollution warnings have been issued in the United States, while thousands have been evacuated from their homes in Canada. Flights have been delayed, and people are advised to stay home. More in our next report.
Eerie scenes. Seems like an apocalypse, something right out of a doomsday movie. But that's how things are in the US. The thick pollution cast an eerie yellow glow over the Big Apple skyscrapers, delayed flights, and forced postponement of sporting events. Smoke from Canadian wildfires drifted south, blanketing cities in thick yellow haze. New York's famous skyline, usually visible for miles, appeared to vanish in an otherworldly veil of smoke, which some residents said made them feel unwell.
You can't even see the Statue of Liberty today, and usually it's bright and clear. It's generated a kind of a cough all day long. I quit smoking 50 years ago, but it's kind of a cough that I would have when I was smoked. Yeah.
Schools up and down the East Coast called off outdoor activities, including sports, field trips, and recesses. More than 100 million people across the northeastern United States and extending west to Chicago and south to Atlanta were under pollution warnings.
Check in on your neighbors, check in on your friends and your family. Take precautions, especially if you have health conditions.
Scientists have warned that rising temperatures are increasing the risk of extreme weather, including the hot, dry spells that often fan wildfires. The White House says the situation is an alarming example of the ways in which the climate crisis is disturbing our lives, echoed by New York's mayor.
As I said this morning, this is climate change in action, and we must continue to draw down emissions, improve air quality, and build resiliency.
The smoke billowed over the US border from Canada, where hundreds of forest fires have scorched 3.8 million hectares of land. It has also forced over 120,000 people from their homes in an unusually early and intense start to the wildfire season.
People across the country are being affected. We're seeing vulnerable people at risk, outdoor events cancelled, kids having to be kept inside at recess.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau describes this wildfire season as the country's worst ever.
Again, I don't think we can let our guard down because I don't know what the future weather means for all these hot spots and these dry conditions.
Mostly just a hopeless feeling. You don't know where it's going to stop or if you get it stopped or what, right?
Canadian farmers have suffered property damage and are concerned about a resumption of the fires with the new rise in temperatures over the weekend. An unusually early and intense start to the wildfire season has set Canada on track for its worst ever year of fire destruction, as warm and dry conditions are expected to persist for months. These images are a grim reminder of how climate change is worsening the scale of wildfires worldwide. Rising temperatures lead to longer and more destructive fire seasons. The changes in temperature, precipitation, sea level rise, and extreme weather events. And a wake-up call that the time for climate action is now. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Well, for more on this, we are joined by climate expert Matthew L. Wald. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us on WION. More than 75 million people across the east of the United States have been under air quality alert as of Wednesday, and it's continuing. No end in sight, according to our governor here. We have to prepare for the long haul. What does this mean for air quality, these Canadian wildfires?
We mostly worry about air quality problems that are caused by burning coal or automobile exhaust. Now we've got something on a much larger scale. And the cause is not completely clear. Yes, it's hot and dry in Canada, and there's lightning storms, and that leads to wildfires. But there's something else going on. It may be that the loss of ice on the Arctic Ocean is changing the wind patterns so that the upper level jet stream winds, which would formerly have blown this stuff out to sea, is now making a great loop and carrying the ash down into the southern part of the continent. So I'm in Washington, but this is as far south as the Carolinas, and will swirl around some more. This is a complicated system, and it tells you that climate change is unpredictable, or it will have effects we have not anticipated.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just shows how connected we all are. And as you mentioned, how the weather can be so unpredictable. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us from Washington, D.C. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll all get through this together.
We will live the day in orange, yes.